Hey everybody! Hello! How are you guys? Let me turn this thing off and hello! Hi! Welcome to Friday, the day before New Year's Eve. Yeah, tomorrow is New Year's Eve. So, anyway, how are you guys? I'm glad you're here. And it's been a good... Holy cow! Daniel, thank you! Starting off with a super chat. That's amazing. Such a good gift. Thank you guys. Man, it's been a really fun week. I did that video. Here's what's crazy. If you saw the video that came out today, sorry, patrons, no heads up on that one. I just wanted you to experience it with everybody else. But my video about just being worn out and tired and not feeling like a virtuoso and just lots of feelings, all that stuff, that was filmed last night this way, but today you're that way. But yeah, I filmed that last night around 9:30 or so, and then got everything kind of set up and put together, and yeah, edited most of the video last night, and then I had a kid wake up at 5:30, so I worked on it this morning while Wally was on in the background, and yeah, so it went out, and I'm super happy. I'm glad people are receiving it really well. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's Schuer says it's a video that they can relate to. And yeah, it's good. It's like trying to course correct, getting back to what I actually want to be doing in the guitar space. I don't know. Like, anyway, consumer advice is fine, but I think talking about the thing versus talking about what the thing does is what I want to do. I would rather talk about amazing guitars and what they do in people and the legacy of them. Like this one, this is that 1969 D35 that just got back from Nathan Wright. And it was kind of a bummer. Last week I used OBS, which is a different streaming software, and for whatever reason, it just didn't work right. And so I was dressed in a Santa costume, and you didn't get to hear me sing Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. So I'll go put the costume on. We'll do it again this week. No, but I will play this guitar for a minute. Elliot Godin is here. Elliot, thanks, man. He says, today's video was a worthwhile watch. Thanks for it, Jeremy. Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm going to aim the microphone down, and I can't get any higher without... is this a bad idea? Probably a bad idea. I'll sit on this briefcase and sit up a bit higher. Oh boy. Oh, not great. Good thing to do this while holding like an $8,000, $7,000 guitar. All right, that's as high as I can get. Oh, that was an abrupt key change. Anyway, yeah, that thing is just, it's so pretty and so cool. And yeah, a one owner German spruce topped D35, and just has super inky, I don't know if you can see that, super inky sides. And then the back is pretty straight grained on the two big panels, and then there's a little bit of streakiness in there. But yeah, see, not mediocre at all. No, yeah, still whatever. Other guitar news is I put a pickguard on this guy, and so this is a Rich Allen. This is the Eldorado, and so I put a pickguard on there. Now it still needs just a tiny bit of tweaking, but this thing will be done in the next couple days, and it'll be it still is for sale, but it's we're asking $19.95 on this one. It's Mario Martin. Like, this is a Danacaster body. Same guy that makes Danacaster makes these. And then it's all just amazing. Emerson caps, CTS pots, Switchcraft jack, compensated Nirvana. I forget the brand that makes the compensated nut. But excellent guitar. It's a Sir bridge pickup, and then a Lawler or vice versa. Anyway, check out the website if you want to see the specs on that. Hey, Gage Horn, look at this. Greetings from the U.S. Army stationed in Germany, 6th channel. Thanks, Gage. Man, thanks for your service too. I know it's hard. So yeah, the pickguard looks great. I think so too. I think this thing is just a really cool. I mean, black guards are awesome. Let me pull out I need to show you my other Rich Allen, which. This is my favorite guitar I got this year, for sure. Yeah, this is my Rich Allen Blackguard, and, yep. And look at that. Here's one for Dane. If you don't know, if you wonder why I have a guitar strap, like why I play a guitar with a guitar strap that says Dane, my name's not Dane. No one's ever called me Dane. Dane was a guy who owned a early 70s Martin D35 that I bought in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana in 2015 or 2016. And he and I were sitting there talking about guitars. I was about to buy his D35, and I was asking him, like, why are you selling this? Like, you should keep this. Because he'd had it for, like, almost 40 years. And he talked about how he had this guitar, and he just had it so that he could sing love songs to his wife. They kind of did this, like, almost like vaudeville, kind of like old New Orleans, gypsy jazzy kind of thing, but he played a Martin. But they would do this kind of call and response, and they would have like a spotlight go to one side of the stage. He would sing a love song, and then the spotlight would kick over to his wife on the other side. And so anyway, man, so Dane would play these love songs to his wife. And so this was like November, right around like, yeah, it's as cold as South Louisiana gets. But it was... Anyway, long story short, he said that a few months before that, his wife had passed away, and he had lost inspiration to really play music. He was like, well, I write songs for her, and she's not around. And then he had just been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And so as we're going through all of this, we're packing up, we do the deal on the guitar, and he hands this strap to me. He like shoves it in the pocket of my jacket. He's like, hey, I want you to take that. I was like, no. I don't want to take your guitar strap. That's yours. I mean, it's been with you for so long. He's like, no. I want you to take this strap, and I want you to go fill the world with music and friendship. I want somebody to remember me. So he's the one that first said the phrase music and friendship, and he's the first person that really stuck with me. So anyway, that's in there with like how the channel came to be. And so anyway, it's a cool, if you know, you know. It's very cool. I'm going to change lenses one time so you can see the guitar is better. Oh boy, don't tell my camera friends I did this. Open sensor to the world. There we go. That one's better. Okay, you can see the guitar now. You can also see my light. Well, that's not great. Anyway, there we go. What's my ISO? 400? That's good. That looks good. Okay. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. Yeah, it's the Guitar Hunter founding strap. So anyway, Sam Vecchio is here. Am I pronouncing that right? Vecchio? I'm sure you've never had to explain that to anybody. But yeah, man. So anyway, the plan is to look over, I lost the list. I started a list. I don't know where it is now, but I want to look over some, guitar sales, some listings and see what's good, what's bad, review, and kind of give my impressions on if you're trying to sell stuff, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? And hopefully we'll find some good stuff. We'll find some ridiculous stuff. And I also want to check out kind of the new kid on the block, which I've had a ton of success with, the gear exchange from Sweetwater. So anyway, George. So this issue has been resolved to the mutual satisfaction of both parties. That's all I can say about those guys. So let's go over here. I've had really good success with the gear exchange from, I've had really good success, talking about or selling stuff so far. I think I've sold 3 things on the Gear Exchange. So let me see if I can. What's the URL directly to it? Oh, it's sweetwater.com/used. Okay, so now come over here, present, share screen, share Chrome tab, share that one. And then I come back over here and make sure it looks good. Does that look good for you guys? This one. Let's do that one. Okay, so I don't really have anything. Let's just peruse around. Let's see. Okay, first, let's see. Is there a way? So these are staff picks, new listings. Let's go from high to low. Let's see, what's the most expensive thing being sold? Whoo! I know nothing about any of this stuff. All expensive studio gear. So $10,000 plus $85 shipping. I kind of love that. For a heavily modified, hot-rodded, vintage 50s Gates Dynamote microphone pre. I know nothing about this. There's a lot. Do they max out at 10 grand, or is that just the highest number anybody wants to put on things? That's wild. All right, a lefty Murphy Lab. No, that's a good-looking guitar. What do you guys think of this? Good pictures. Where's the TM, man? Prove it. Where's Tom Murphy? Tom Murphy inlays. He hides his own name in the hand-cut etching of each one. Have you heard that? It's probably true, but also seems like perfect elf in a tree lore. So, used Gibson Custom Shop Murphy painted 2021 light-aged left-handed. Doesn't actually say Les Paul in there. That's interesting. Like, that's one of my biggest complaints with this kind of guitar is that so many words get used. That it's like, used Gibson Custom Shop Murphy Lab, Murphy painted, 2021, light-aged, left-handed. Doesn't say Les Paul. Yeah, it's just, that's a lot. So, anyway, yep. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's, man, it's very expensive to have a really bad description. Oh, looks like same person selling 2 lefties. Wait, what is this? Montanza? Used Montanza video. Montanza Serengeti limited edition. Maybe, I mean, I don't doubt it. Classical guitars are expensive. $150 shipping? Come on. Come on. If you're going to ask that much money for a piece of gear, just give them free shipping. They'll pay that $100 and they won't even know it. Ooh, a Preston Thompson in Brazilian. Heyo, this is an old boy spec. This is only 2 pictures. You got a real set of stones if you're gonna sell a guitar for 10 grand. Sandy Hook, Virginia. Wait, holy cow, that's like 45 minutes from me. Robert G. Let's talk, buddy. What can I see on this? He's only selling one thing. Anyway, I'll come back over and comment or look at the comments. Classical better be a double top. Yeah, I don't know what it was. So, have you sold expensive guitars on the Sweetwater Gear Exchange? I have sold. Let me see. I have sold so far. Sold an Epiphone Les Paul and 2 Eastmans. So nothing super expensive. I'll show. Let me go to my. So here are my active listings now. So I have Cordoba. Hey, Daniel, I'm selling your guitar. I have the Rich Allen that I told you, the twin to this one. Not twin, fraternal twin. I have this Huss and Dalton 00SP, which is awesome. It's over here in the rack. I have this Custom Shop 59 Journeyman Relic Aged Olympic White. See? I did get the word Fender Custom Shop Jazzmaster in there. And got a Larrivee in here. So I only have 5 things listed. And I have this other Eastman, which I might drop the price on that. Let's look at the view count. What is my most viewed guitar? The Cordoba has 155, 175 on the Eastman. So that's probably, that means a bunch of people have looked at it and my price is probably too high. So I can drop the price on that. Yeah, it's been up for a month. So anyway, do you guys have any listings you want me to look at? If you want, you can email them to me over at info@jeremysheppard.com, and I'll see if I can, I had gathered some people had sent me some from the other day. I'm trying to avoid going to Reverb for obvious reasons. But let's go back to, okay, let's see what the cheapest guitar is that they have. Okay, we got to get past all of the Ultra Octaver. There's some of these, like a bunch of pedals, bunch of Behringer stuff. All right, I'm just going to skip to like page 4. Okay, let's get to guitars. Okay, so the cheapest guitar is a mini Strat, a red one. I've got one of those from my kids played upstairs. Whoa. That's a weird, you can tell this picture's been really edited in some software to really punch up the color. Oh yeah, super cheap guitar once you actually look at it. Whoa, it looks like a maple neck. Look, that makes it look like a maple neck, and then you get closer, you're like, oh, the photo is so edited in the first 2 pictures that... Wait, which is it? It's a rosewood board, and then they just pull like stock photos from the website, and it shows... I mean, it's a cool Miami blue color. Yeah. Anyway, send me something if you guys find anything ridiculous. Jansen, hey buddy, how are you? Glad you're here, man. Yeah, the Jazzmaster looks awesome. I can get it out of the case. It's right up there. I'll get that out, and I can play that. I can also hook it up into the amp. I have 2 custom shops that I can show you. Oh, this thing makes my heart feel all Twitter pated. I'm coming. Don't you worry, little hearts. That. And then this one. I'm going to have to do just a little bit of monkeying real quick. Here we go. Yes, I'm going to use the weirdest strap I have. This strap was technically supposed to be a giveaway, and I gave it away to myself. So, let me turn these off. How's that sound? I can't hear it yet. Oh, I hear a compressor on Super Grumpy. I'm tuning. Okay. You spent your whole morning playing the blue one. That's so good. Yes, so this is my Tone Master. Let me see. So the only thing that's on is the the Jazz Master. A lot of masters here. Jazz Master into my pedal board. The only thing that's on over there is a Morning Glory V4 that's just a little bit of oomph. So I'll show you with it off. All right, here it's off. This is one of my favorite pedals of this year. I can't even show you. I'll get you comments in 1 sec. I promise. So yeah, this is the Tone Master. It's not even on in the room. That's just the DI coming out of it into the Apollo with no preamp, no nothing on it. It's just coming in. I just set the level on the channel so that it wouldn't overdrive. But this is the Monkey Wrench. What is happening? My brain is not working. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. So close. I'm going to keep trying. I got it. I know I can do it. Anyway, okay, I'm lost. That's all I got. That was Monkey Wrench. Played through the Monkey Wrench from OCE pedals, and then it's all just coming straight in. Okay, here's a great question. So where do you reach buyers? Where do you reach great buyers? Sorry, I will read this one more time. My brain will start working. Where do you reach guitar buyers who are interested in guitars other than dreads? All over. I think most buyers aren't particularly interested in dreads unless they are in the throes of bluegrass and roots. But even in the roots world, you've seen lots of triple O's and OMs. I continue to be shocked by how many just normal guitar players aren't, like, their dream guitars don't include dreadnoughts. It really is wild. So yeah, I would say, but I know you're asking a more specific, where do you find high-end qualified buyers? The best place I've known to look is the Facebook groups. That's where I found a lot of people. Or work really hard for like 6 years, build up a YouTube presence, and then build a website that just people find you. Like, that's what I found now is people just find me. Like that tenor guitar sold this morning, which I'm sad about, but it's good. Can't keep them all. Can't even keep most. Yeah, Jazzmaster is awesome. Yeah. So this thing, check it out. So this is the Journeyman Relic, which means this is built by one person. This is as close as Fender gets to a boutique guitar in there. Clay dots, the white, it's the Alpine white, and then it has an anodized pickguard. This one also has a mastery bridge, and then the flat top knobs are very, very cool. So Hector says that he finds Craigslist is useless for guitars anymore. Too much junk. Let me show you my local Craigslist. I'll come back over here. And yeah, so this is my local Craigslist in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Uh-oh, that's motorcycles. Musical instruments. So okay, yeah, somebody keeps trying to sell this one, which I actually think is kind of cool, but it also feels like a bit of a scam or it's just terrible pictures. So this one is like a Greco, and the tuners, look how crooked all of these tuners are. And so if you don't know, Greco are like kind of high quality Gibson clones from the lawsuit era, late 70s, early 80s. And so anyway, this one, he's been trying to sell it for a long time. And so anyway, this one, not bad, but, you know, I think $1,000. And so anyway, someone posted something about it saying that they're moving all over the place. But the larger point I wanted to make, so a couple things that they've started doing on Craigslist that I think are interesting. Number one, I just wanted to point out my local Craigslist has 57 listings. Like, it's just not a good fishing hole. Not good to find stuff. It's also not good to sell stuff for me on Craigslist, but I still find good old boy guitars on here. I still find, like, I will find Martins more often than not when I look on here if I keep looking every day. But I kind of stick to my, like, 3 or 4 things that I know really well and I care about and I can buy and I know that I can find a new home for. One thing that is interesting is they've started doing this, like, over on the left side here. They'll show you, if I clear that, they'll show you, like, on average, hold on, what's $222,000? That's what I want to know. How do I refine this search? Go. Show me that segment of the market. Let's do most money. Oh, it's just somebody just making up, like, so $222,000, $222, and that's just because they put all the twos in there. Looking to sell some tailies and move on up. All right, lots of parts casters. Anyway, so yeah, now let's go over to my old fishing hole of, I misspelled Craigslist. So now if you come in here to the musical instruments, and I understand I'm going from the middle of nowhere to a major city, but there's 437 active listings here. And then just poke around on the first page. There's a cool old organ, not our guitar hunting material. Guild gig bag, $30. Gibson 347. Right here, asking $4,000 cash. I mean, this is a jazz guitar if I've ever seen one. Fine tuners, natural top. That's cool. New Orleans era, with that silver logo and the 3-piece neck and the flip out. What do you call those? The tuners that have the levers on them. Taylor 812 for $1,800. Not a bad guitar. Not a bad price. Cool guitar. PRS SE Tremonti. Look at that. There's an R9. Whoo. That's a good looking one. Does not suck. 59 reissue Gibson Les Paul Custom Shop. Sailor Trade. This dude. It's pretty nondescript, but I am somewhat certain I bought an SG from this guy a couple of years ago. But anyway, larger point, man. Yeah, Craigslist, not great. Yeah, paper cup strap. Let's see. What else is going on? I answered this question. Have I sold expensive guitars on the Sweetwater Gear Exchange? Not yet, but I've got a lot of stuff listed. One thing so far, one of the things I find the most interesting about Sweetwater is because they have a customer service department, they know how to back up, the deals that, they know how to do customer service pretty quickly. And so one of the things I found is they don't release your money until you get a 4-star or a 5-star review on feedback from the customer. So that means what? You have to get at least 80%, right? So 80% in college on a 10-point scale is a B. So you have to at least be a B level guitar seller. So that's really good. So yeah. You were just thinking about a Telly before clicking on this channel? Dude, Tellys are the perfect guitar. So good. There's an 81 D28 in Orlando for $3,500. Ooh, that's still kind of pricey. Tex, hey buddy, glad you're here, Howard. Well, please find out what that is. Hang on, I missed something. What are we talking about? Wake me up when we're back to acoustics. All right. I mean, I'm talking about acoustic guitars, right? What else can I pull out? Hang on one sec. Let me think. I've got my Showalter. I finished my Showalter. It's officially 100% done with the inlay and all that. Do you want to see Showalter? I've got my Paget over there. I've got my Yellow Deluxe. The Nathaniel Rateliff one is over here too. I can hide this. Over here, I've got the Arcara. I've got a 68 Southern Jumbo up there. I've got the Schoenberg OM down there, a $17,000 acoustic guitar. So tell me what you want. Hello, Chris Flores from Edinburgh. Do you mean Edinburgh, Virginia? Do you mean Edinburgh, Scotland? Buy a Telecaster Clone ES for sale. Best one I've played yet. There are some great ones. And that's what's exciting. It's not crazy. Like, you don't have to go crazy to get a great Tele these days. Like, at $1,000, if you could come up with $500, you could get a cool, like, classic vibe or a Mexican Strat and then start tweaking it and changing it to what you want it to be. But then there's so many options for making your own parts casters. Now, the problem is you just need somebody that's really good at setups. Like, that's where the devil lives in a guitar, is getting it to play really great. Craigslist is as good as a well-done description in the end. People are lazy. It is true. There are definitely red flags. There are definitely red flags when it comes to Craigslist. Like, as soon as someone says, price is firm, I know what I have, this thing is for sale, it is not on sale. Like, as soon as they say any of that nonsense, I realize, like, they think that this is the best guitar that is in anywhere close to them in, their state, and they're not, yeah, anyway. Show us that. I get behind on the comments. Showalter. All right, let's go do the Showalter. What have we done with everything? Here we go. Okie dokie, here's the Showalter. So, if you missed it, this is a guitar that I built this summer into the fall. And so the most recent additions to it are this fish right here. So I inlaid this fish, and then we did a Holter pickguard down here. And it is finally done and sorted and settled. And also, put a pickup in it. I put an LR Baggs Anthem SL in this. Let me see. I don't have a guitar strap other than... Hold on. Wait for it. This strap just feels wrong, And it's too long. So. Oh boy. Out of tune. Not great. Out of morbid curiosity, I want to know what this pickup would sound like through the Tone Master. You'd never use it that way, but without any room volume, it might sound cool. Okay, here we go. there we go. Yeah, man, I'm excited for you. So Daniel's going to get a J185 made by Nathan Wright, which Nathan is an unbelievably good guitar builder. Yeah, so Nathan did a bunch of the work on this. Now, when I say a bunch of work, he did a couple things just to help me kind of tidy this thing up. So he compensated the saddle on this, and he also he redid the nut, because when I did the nut in the last video we did, I took it down too far and it was buzzy on the first fret. So now this thing just absolutely plays as great as I'd hoped it would be. And I mean, like, it's my first guitar and I know that, but it's also, I wanted to get this to where it is a full-blown professional guitar and it is totally set up. So anyway, I'm super excited about how this worked out. And this is a guitar that I'm going to play a ton. It is interesting. The Osage Orange is definitely starting to mellow out on the back. It's not as bright as it once was. Now, let's try this. I wonder how this sounds. Let me look and see. Anyway, what do you think of that? How's that sound? You can send it to info@jeremysheppard.com. info@jeremysheppard.com. Send it there. Has anybody sent any? I don't see any yet. Terry, you sent me an email about a comment you made earlier today. I haven't read that yet. I will. I promise you. But, yeah. Yeah, sort of like a mahogany top. It definitely, that's what I found. The more I play this guitar, the more it's like, it's dark. It is not a super bright guitar and has a ton of like warmth and mellowness to it. And so that's why in the end, I chose not to do a K&K pickup, because I thought it would be too bassy. I thought it would just be too much. Let me see. I can work that strap up a little bit. Anyway, man, yeah, it's a cool dark sounding guitar. I think it's very unique sounding and it's very dark, so it kind of fits in. If you've done Write Guitars Faster, you kind of know where this thing would fit and why it would work really well paired against other like bright and boomy or diverse and boomy, and you know, the different guitars that I've got coming. So anyway, yeah, so ooh, Doug Noble says recently purchased 110. Dude, it is unbelievably good. That is such a good guitar. And yeah, Steve told me that you'd got that, and you had reached out and told me that you were getting it. Man, that is the red elm back and sides, right, with a spruce top. That's one that was built while we were building this at the same time. It's an amazingly good guitar, and his are so affordable. And, yeah. Hey-o! Greetings from Beverly Hills, California. Hey, Palmero Junk Pile Guitars. Glad you guys are here. That and the Paget and the 36 work really well together. Yeah, those three, like, this one's very dark and specific. Then the Paget is kind of a not a one-trick pony. What would you call it? Well, it's become my ride or die. Like, it's a guitar that I can just play and not think about, and it can kind of cover whatever I need to cover. With the K&K, it's still really boomy and powerful when it's in a PA system. And then the number 36, I put the LR Baggs Lyric that was in my Haas and Dalton TDM. I put it into that. And it's wild how much different that pickup, and I understand it's a microphone, but it's wild how much that pickup sounds different in that guitar. So anyway, yeah, man, it's a good trio. The workhorse. Yes, that's the phrase that I use in my own course that I wrote and thought about and came up with. So, okay. Let's see. Okay, so, all right, let's look at this. Is there any of my information on here I don't want you to see as I click over to my own email? I'm going to do it this way. All right, Terry, I'm going to show both our emails. Buckle in. All right, so now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to share a different tab. Okay, here we go. So this is Terry's comment for his. Price drop for this rare Martin M36 called the official guitar of Nashville Studios. Loud as a dreadnought with fingerstyle range of an OM. Size in Martin terms, a quad O. Beautiful Indian rosewood back and sides with a 3-piece back like a D35. Aged spruce top with strong cross grain. Near mint condition, but with added upgraded Waverly Butterbean tuners. Original Grover tuners included with sale. Classic 35 style Ivoroid binding, including on neck. Ebony fingerboard, rosewood bridge, and compensated saddle. 1 3/4 nut width. Original case. Tiny signs of use, but none visible in photos. I don't think that's bad at all. Like, I think that somebody would get that. The only thing I would do is I would tweak it to be more, because right now it's a ton of specs, and it's some insider language saying like, this is the best kept secret of people in Nashville. Like, for me, that doesn't move the needle for me to buy it. But if you say, for sale, one of the most unique Martin guitars. It's a Martin that is heard and rarely seen. This is a cool guitar that most people don't know about. Even in my video when I had an M36, I called it, what did I call it? The best kept secret, the best Martin you've never heard, or the best Martin you've never seen. So I think there is definitely something that you can do in that space. I would just make it a little more personal and a little more aspirational. Like, think about who is going to be on the fence about that guitar. What other guitar would they compare it to? So I usually try and do 4 things when I'm doing like sales copy. Number 1, I want to identify the problem that my customers experience and really nail home that I get where they're coming from. Number 2, I want to redefine how they could fix that problem. So you'd say like, hey, a lot of people looking for a fingerstyle guitar end up with an OM, or they end up with a triple O, and because of the skinnier nut width and the shorter scale length, they just feel like they bottom out and they never actually get the full range of a guitar that feels like a dreadnought when strummed, but still has the articulation of an OM. I would say something in that second. I would really redefine how to solve that problem. So if you want a dread sound with the comfort of a triple O, the Quad O has been a well-kept secret for a lot of players. The third thing I want you to do in the third paragraph, I want you to redirect them around any opposition. Think about what their you've nailed their problem. You've nailed how to fix the problem. And now you're going to walk them around anything that would keep them from saying, like, take my money, give me that guitar. And so is that another guitar that they're looking at? Is that a more affordable option? Is that, yeah. So is it money that's holding them up? Is it the unpredictability of, or just that they don't know that guitar? Is it where you are? Is it how much you're shipping? So think about all of the ways in which somebody would say no and just address those. It's really kind of amazing that, it's amazing when you kind of get out there and when you're leading the conversation and you can even say, hey, I know you're probably feeling like this is a lot of money to risk on a guitar that I don't know if I'm going to like. That's why I'm going to give you 24 hours, whatever. That's why I would give you 24 hours. I'd give you a review period, or I'll cover shipping there to you. I'll even cover insurance. That way, if anything goes wrong, both of us are covered. The fourth thing you have to do, and this is where you have to really drive it home, is if you have to call them to action. Like really say, hey, this guitar is incredible and it's not going to last. I already have a couple people that are looking at it, but as of right now, it is available, and I want you to give me a call. We'll meet. I'll be at this coffee shop on Saturday afternoon if people want to come by and check it out, or however you want to make the deal as easy as it can be. So by then, you've identified their problem, you've shown them how to solve it, you've walked them around any hostility or hesitancy that they would have in their mind, and now the right thing to do is to call them to action. The problem that a lot of us do, think about like websites. I don't know if you guys build websites for your businesses or for work or for anything you're passionate about or your hobbies. Think about how vague that language is, and imagine yourself using that the first time you met like your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your significant other. Like, think about you're at a party and you walk up and you're like, hey, what's up? And then you hit them with the line that you have on your website, let's get started. Or you hit them with like, learn more. It just doesn't work. It's too vague. It needs to be specific. So in that situation, you say, hey, I like you. I'd like to go get a cup of coffee with you sometime. Would you like to get a cup of coffee? Same thing with your guitar listings. You've got to really nail down that last part of like, hey, I think that lots of people would love this guitar. If you're into fingerstyle, if you want a guitar that can respond as though it were a dreadnought, but it's really a lot more comfortable, I think this guitar would be perfect for you. I think you should buy this guitar. Let's make a deal. That's my usual call to action. So anyway, Rasmus, hey buddy, I'm glad you're here, man. Rasmus is building me an incredible guitar, and I just cannot wait. Yeah. Is the lyric better or worse in the 36 than the Husson Dalton? It's way better. I really didn't like it. And I thought it changed the tone of the TDM. I can't confirm that, but I always suspected that. And now with the number 36, the Wright Lutherie number 36, I was concerned because I've done two things. I've put two things on that guitar that would change like the vibration of the top. I guess three things technically. Number one, I put that big pickguard on there from Holter pickguards, and that didn't seem to change the tone because that guitar has like this force field of bass and low end coming off of it, especially like right up by your face. You feel so much growly low end, and that guitar still has that. And then the lyric pickup inside on the soundboard, and then the volume control in the sound hole up here. So these three things all kind of work together. And yeah, so anyway. Hey, Daniel Dalton Cochran. What a name. That's a good name. From Knoxville, Tennessee. I love Knoxville. It's a good place to be. Yeah. Thoughts on Recording King Tonewood Reserve Elite. I think that Tone King are great guitars for materials, but every single one I've played really needs a setup, needs some fretwork, needs some TLC. So I think this might get me in trouble. I'll say it. I'll get myself in trouble. I just formed an LLC so I can risk it all. No, I don't want to do that. And I don't think it's that contentious. But I think Recording King is like Harbor Freight. I think Harbor Freight, if you don't know what Harbor Freight is, they're like, it's the place to buy tools that you hate, that are going to break and wear down. But at the same time, like uh-oh. Did my battery die? Are we good? Yeah, we're okay. I don't know why it froze there for a second. But anyway, Harbor Freight, I still buy tools from there. But they spend no money on QA/QC. they let their return policy be that, and you have to pay a little extra if you want to be able to return it. And so anyway, so same thing with Recording King. Like if you get it and you get a really good setup on it right away, bone nut, bone saddle, good setup, fretwork, I mean, they scream. But yeah, overall, not for the long haul. Paul says your guidance saves newbie guitar sellers tons of headaches when it comes to impulse buyers putting their after purchase remorse back onto technicalities in an ad description to force a return. Don't I know it? That's why I don't want to go to Reverb. I'm over it. I still use Reverb for stuff. I have not sold a guitar on Reverb since 2018, and I don't plan on selling a guitar there ever again. They do not have the back of sellers. I mean, the flip side. Anyway, no, I don't have to be democratic, and I don't have to play devil's advocate. I'm just going to say Reverb was not a good thing for me. It was a good thing for me until it was a very bad thing for me as a small business owner for a year straight, and then they threatened to shut down my account because I stuck to my guns. So anyway. Yeah, paying shipping on a return can take the profit out of several future sales. It's true. Rocks, look at that. From Manila, from the Philippines. Hello, I'm glad you're here. You can send the listings to info@jeremysheppard.com or jeremy@jeremysheppard.com. Here we go. I see one from Daniel. So Daniel just says, public thoughts on this. Ooh, you sent me this the other day. This one's so good. Let me share screen. Chrome tab. Okay. Let me. There we go. This one's better because I'm not in the way. You can see the whole screen. Oh, sorry, it's no longer available. Daniel, did you get this one? Blink twice if you got this one. Okay, so that's an intense zoom. Let me get bigger. Just show me. Okay. There's a bridge. There is lots of. Okay, so this is a J45 with Engelmann spruce top and Koa back and sides. Whoo! I like that. It's not super, I mean, it's very figured, but it's not as like wild and crazy as some Koa can be. There's the whole thing. I get why it would have gold tuners, but I don't love gold tuners. And it's interesting to see Grovers because people have opinions about Grovers now that they used to not have. People used to say, I swap everything to Grovers so I get that extra mass and I get extra sustain and it makes my guitar sound better. Please take my $125. But now everybody says, I need Waverleys. I love how close that bridge is to the bridge pins on the back. I love the belly bridges. This guitar gets me. I love this style pickguard too. Kind of the 50s style pickguard. The abalone is interesting. Like it's a lot. It's very busy. I don't like how fair and how different the grain is on the two wings on the side of the headstock. So 2022, so 20002, and then made on the 298th day of the year, and it was the 79th guitar they made that day. So 298, I mean, that's what, October, September, somewhere in there. Fingerboard's pretty. Big abalone. Inlays. Ooh, wait, is that light or is that a line? That's light on the bars. Okay. So, Daniel, how much was this? Wasn't this like $3,500? Sam, okay, so it's $4,000. Yeah. Hey, I'm just gonna say this: don't finance guitars. Don't do it. Save up money. Buy guitars in cash. Don't because you're inviting Murphy into. Yeah, you're risking a lot by having a guitar financed. So, 1.73 inch scale length. So that's the whatever that fraction is. But it's short scale, like you would expect. It's a 12-inch fretboard radius compared to a 16. Like my Showalter here is a 16-inch radius. This is an interesting guitar. I think that this is a $2,500 or $2,000 guitar when it's used. So I think this one would be tricky to really live with for a long time. So, Evan says, I saw Russo had a custom shop Gibson J45 with sinker. That's very tempted. Let's go see what we can find. Gibson. Engelmann Spruce and Koa. Oh, this one's just a Sunburst. Oh, look at that one. An Elvis, a 200. Hummingbird faded. Oh, here's the sinker. Look at that. Okay, this one wins. This one's way cooler to me. But it's also much more traditional. Like the other one was very modern. $3,500. It is sinker mahogany. Man, this is wild. Okay, so to get a sinker mahogany from Gibbs or from Martin, like look at the Gruen spec ones. They would be natural tops. They would be very simple. They'd be like 18 spec. And yeah, they would be $4,042.99 was the last price I remember seeing on them at Gruen's. And man, that's wild. So this is a good deal if you're saying like apples to apples. And still only has, that's interesting, still only has the LR Bags VTC, which is the most affordable of the pickups. And it's interesting too because it's just an element pickup. It does not necessarily sound like the guitar that it's in. So that's interesting, but I like it. That's a good one. Daniel thinks the Abalone script is great. I think so too. It's also hard to take pictures of, and the headstock was tilted back, so I think that haven't seen another one ever. Yeah, you should get it. I mean, don't get it. It's real expensive. Offer them $2,500 and just say, I'm just the next buyer. See, Russo's emailed me the more expensive one. That's good. That's what you need to do in sales. Just, hey, we sold that thing that you want. Here's one for $1,000 more. But, all right, let's see any other emails come in. Rasmus! Oh, hey. Oh. I see it. It's happening. Rasmus, taking us to Reverb. Good Lord. That is beautiful. Holy cow. Look at that thing. Let me show you. I'll show you a picture here in a second. It's a straight bridge. Should be like a belly down bridge. But it's the 40s. Things got weird. I don't know if you heard. There was a war on. And, man, I like that. I like that rosette so much. Look at that wiggle. You can see, man, this whole top has just wiggled and waggled and moved over the life of this thing. But, man, this is an unbelievable guitar. Yep. I love the round shoulders. I like the finish being worn off on the back and sides. I like the dots. Oh, yeah. Definitely some cracks. Oh, hey, whoa. That's a gnarly one. Yep. Look at that skunk stripe down the back of the neck. Tuners have been swapped, but they're old. But they would have been, they would have been a bunch of different things in the 40s. Is that heel cap right? It's rosewood. Maybe that's been replaced. That binding looks like something's happened in there. Shoo! That thing is worn and used and beat up. And a brand new case. 4.1 pounds. It's so light. Cool, man. This is really, really cool. And it's $10,000 with $500 shipping. Can you imagine the nerve The Set of Stone Zone people. Oh boy, I'm running out of space. But, okay. So this guitar belonged to a friend of mine. Danny owned this guitar. So this one was a Southern Jumbo. Now, he claimed at the time that I worked with him that this was a 43 or 44 Southern Jumbo. So the picture here says 45. That is a 1945 Southern Jumbo. Now, the thing is, he told me a dozen times that this guitar, I'll show it one more time. He told me time and time again that this guitar was his riding companion and that he had used that guitar with him in Normandy and Bayonne. That he took it with him, and he said he wasn't there at D-Day, but he came in Normandy, and that the guitar came with him. And then shortly after that, he was in Bayonne over the winter, and he said that's when lots of the finish came off of the guitar. And a few years later, after hearing this story over and over and over, and I believed it, one day I'm looking at it, and I was like, he brought it in and let me restring it. So I could get, it was the closest I ever got to that guitar. And as I'm looking at the guitar, he saw me look. I looked in the sound hole, and I saw the FON number, and I saw the serial number, and he saw that I wrote them down on a piece of paper. And a couple minutes later, after restringing the guitar and playing it, and just like it sounded great, it was a really fun guitar, and it looked so cool. He saw that I went back, and I got the Gruen book, and I went out and looked it up, and it was in 1948. And World War II was over, 1948. So that guitar just literally could not have been in World War II. And he kind of knew that I knew his secret. And I didn't want to blow him up. Like, he was a sweet guy. Ted Stone, that was his name. And Ted, I doubt he's still around. But Ted was just, he knew that I knew his secret, and I never blew him up, but he also never let me play that guitar again. So, anyway, Rasmus, that's a super cool guitar. I'm super excited. Yeah. What does Evan say? Evan says, got a Martin D18 Synchro last week for $2,500. I'm out on expensive guitars for the moment. Well, you don't need to be in, because that's an awesome guitar. Good job. Yeah, this is the real Murphy Lab. It's true. Rox says, hey, Jeremy, what's the most used body shape in your community of musicians? What do you guys think? It's still probably, for acoustic guitars, it's still probably a Dreadnought. When I think about people playing guitar, yeah. So you're at a place now where the people that are in that community have started changing. But I would say the normal, the people who are using guitar to serve a particular function, and they don't play guitar for the passion of it, but they do it for the service of it. I'm thinking mostly of people that play music in church. All of those guys and gals, they still have just Dreadnoughts, just normal, regular Dreadnought shapes. But I think from selling guitars, OMs, triple O's, Gibson LOOs, LG1, LG2, those shapes are a lot more common. But the headstock changed, right? Whoa, look at that name. I can't say your name. I'm sorry. Hey, Jeremy, do you have any chance to compare a Gibson J45 to a J35 side by side? What are the differences? A J35 is a longer scale length, I believe. I think it's 24.9 compared to 24.3 quarters. So it's a pretty subtle difference. But anyway, yeah. There's a bunch of differences. I don't know them very well off the top of my head. J35s aren't normally sunburst. They're natural. So they're more like a J50. I think its scale length is the biggest difference, inlays, and the pickguard, and the bridge. I think the Advanced Jumbo and the J35 are more similar. Most underused is the OM. I think so. I think that's changing, though. Sam says, I saw your video, Jeremy. You're a wonderful guitar player or with your own style and vibe. Thanks, man. I mean, yeah, I think a lot of it is having to play music by myself, particularly over COVID, and having to not play recognizable copywritten music so that I don't lose like the monetization on videos. So it's forced me to kind of sound like myself. But that's always been something that has worked out. Like I've always just been able to kind of play the way that I play. JD Ray says, I have been Dreadnought all my 52 years, but I started falling for parlors and I picked up 3 in the last 5 years. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a big one too. You're starting to see people are starting to rethink like, hey, what if playing an acoustic guitar doesn't have to be hard? Like, what if it doesn't have to be uncomfortable? So yeah, like OMs, like my Showalter, which this looks like a very like unusual guitar, but it's a very like traditional shape. So this is an OM. So it's like 3 3/4 inches here, and then 4 3/4 inches on the back, and then yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it for the live show. Any other things that people want me to react to, respond to, give my 2 cents on? And thanks for that, Rasmus. That's a cool one. Nathan Wright just built a really excellent J45 that I got to play. I didn't put it in the video, but he's a great guitar builder. I'm super excited for Daniel. He's getting a J185 out of it. So I've got to get your 2 guitars down to him. Between the super cold weather the last 2 weeks and just the holidays, Nathan hasn't wanted me to mail them. I don't want to mail them. I got to figure out when I'm going to be down there in the next couple weeks. So anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. 2022, we did it. We did our best. Put a good rep in. Let's do it again next year. Let's re-up. If you haven't seen that video, the video I put out earlier today was a good, I don't know, every now and then I just get hit by the bug of like, I have a thing to say, and I need to say it, and I need to write out these thoughts and make sure that I communicate what I'm trying to say. And, yeah. Yeah, the L3 is great. I played it yesterday, just hanging out in the case over here. So, yeah, don't ship it. I won't ship it. I'll get it down there to him. I've been playing your Modern Deluxe. It's over there on the wall. That's an excellent guitar. JD says, I enjoy your show and your playing. It's inspired me to learn some new licks. Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, play some dadgad. Learn some new stuff. Stan says, looking forward to your further adventures in 2023. And for the record, I love your playing. Wish we could sit down and trade some licks. Awesome. Cool, me too. All right, well, there is a big announcement video coming out next week. So, yeah, all good news. And there's going to be 3 specific avenues of videos for next year that I haven't quite done before. And it's a good challenge, and it's good. I've got my feet kind of more firmly under us than we have in the past. So, anyway, what all did I have done to the D35? The D35 had a neck reset, had the truss rod reinforced with a carbon fiber rod, had a complete fret job, fret level, and new saddle cut. Yeah. And then the bridge was re-glued because the bridge had been coming up. So I'll make a video about that this coming week as well. It's back and it's excellent. So anyway, yeah. Hey, great last video earlier. Happy New Year from another mediocre guitar player. Glad we're in it together, everybody. Yeah. Badura, Mr. Morocco himself, says, hey, Jeremy, I need you to give me the green light to buy a brand new Guild D140 for $399. Is it worth it? They're really good guitars. They're really comfortable. They sound really good. Are you able to play it in person before you fully commit to buying it? Or is this a buy it and ship it to yourself? But yeah, so anyway. I'm thinking about getting the Bourgeois that you talked about last week. Do it. I have both of them still here. If you want to buy one, let me know. and I can give you a deal off the new price, and it would be basically brand new. They've just been demoed on the channel. So email me if you want. More Waterloos, please. Yes and amen. I would love to find some more Waterloos. And I'm still, you know, can't keep them all. Can't keep most of them. And, but yeah, anyway, I'm working up. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. We need a video of how you travel in airways with your acoustic guitar. We're working on that. There's a video coming up that's definitely going to happen. There's a lot of moving parts to it as well, but we're working on that, figuring out how I can get a guitar from the Netherlands back here. So anyway, all right. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's really fun hanging out, and I don't take it for granted that you guys watch these videos. So make sure you hit a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you later. Bye.